And when you look at Makhachev, first of all, Makhachev is a monster. He's a monster. You do not want to fight that guy when he's gone through a full camp in Dagestan, rip ready to go. And he had adjusted to Volkanovski's style. He had a completely good solution. He had a perfect solution. The kicks to the body. He was throwing those kicks to the body. He set up that head kick. He took away Volkanovski's leg kicks from the outside. He took away all the shit that Volkanovski was doing to him that was troubling him in the first fight, and he put a tighter squeeze into it. Well, I think his squeeze is just phenomenal. Because if you see the way he tapped Drew Dober too, the same sort of situation, he gets guys on the ground and they just, I think it's just a next level power and squeeze. Some dudes just have next level squeeze and next level like grappling power, and he's developed that his whole life. He's also enormous for 150.
Run, everybody run.
Go, start.
When Gazelle wake up.
Watch how Islam Makhachev trains while he's preparing for his fight to become double champion.
Вперед тоже делай то же самое. Хорош.
I know you talked a little bit about Jack. What do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He's good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had a problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere.
Islam looked like Michelangelo sculpted him.
He's so big. He's so strong, so good.
What does he weigh? What does he weigh like normal? Like right now, if you called him up, what do you weigh, brother? What would he say?
I would say at least minimum like 185, 190.
Fuck out of here. He's 210 pounds.
No, Islam.
That guy's 250 pounds.
His strength feels like 250 pounds.
That's what I hear.
But that's the thing with them. They're always training. No matter what they're doing, they always at least run once a day or grapple.
So he's losing roughly 30 pounds to make 55?
From the start, I would say. Yeah.
He's big. That's about as big as you can get and keep doing that. That's big.
Yeah, and he's tall. He's lengthy, and he has power. Like, he could go up to 70 easily, I think.
Yeah, easily. He's got real power now on his feet, which is a new addition over the last, ex-Oliveira.
1. Nobody thought those training clips would look like a warning, but that's exactly how they come across. Islam Makhachev isn't just polishing skills, he's pushing boundaries, loading his frame like a man who's already comfortable in a bigger weight class. Viewers point out numbers that hover around 170, and whether the plates match the torque or not, the vibe is the same: heavier, sharper, colder. Even Joe Rogan couldn't play it cool. He sounded stunned by the size, by the strength showing up as clean control instead of sloppy muscle. A lightweight moving with the poise of a welterweight, yet keeping the same crisp style that's carried him through stormy nights. The room almost holds its breath when he switches from sprint to snapdown, because everyone knows exactly what that blend means: danger that doesn't fade when the bell does. He's solved puzzles before, and he's solving them even quicker now. Anyone who saw the first Volkanovski fight remembers the rematch wasn't random. It was a calculated storm of adjustments. Those body kicks weren't wild choices. They broke rhythm, erased counters, and paved the way for the finish. The leg kicks that once stung, neutralized with stance changes and positioning. The lesson was brutal. He doesn't just watch tape, he downloads whole systems. And in camp, you see that same precision applied to inches. Wrist control becomes a ride, a half-inch hip shift kills an underhook. Collar ties guide you 3 steps later into a mat return you swore you could stop. That's why the footage feels so ominous. The speed is real. The strength hits harder. And the details are crueler. The environment explains the edge. Under Abdulmanap, there was structure but also space to breathe. Under Khabib, there's structure with consequences. The word from the gym is always the same: show up, block out the noise, and go again. If you're gassed, you build a bigger engine. If something hurts, you build better mechanics. That's why morning runs stack into live wrestling, why pad work slides straight into positional drills, and why even fingers and forearms get their turn under the microscope. To outsiders, it looks obsessive. Inside that circle, it's just the entry fee. Champions pay it to stay champions. Anyone chasing a second belt pays double. Watch the inside leg trip that keeps popping up in footage. No big setup. Just an underhook, his head wedged under your chin, then a scythe of the leg, and you're already sealed to the floor. The first instinct is to bounce back up. The reality is frames that stall and a ride that drains seconds you'll never get back. People remember the Drew Dobier finish because the tap looked inevitable, but that inevitability was built way earlier. With hand fighting that stripped your posts, with pressure that forced shallow breaths, with grip changes that seemed minor until every option vanished. When he locks high on the forearm instead of deep on the elbow, the squeeze isn't just a threat, it's a countdown. The size talk always flares up when a fighter dominates. Some say he walks in the mid-180s. Others swear higher. Training partners talk about a grip that makes arms feel like ropes. Then Javier Mendez adds fuel, rounds with big guys who aren't showing up to play nice. He doesn't love the risk, but he knows the math. If you're planning to claim a second belt at 170, you need bodies that push back like 170. That doesn't mean gym wars. It means learning to carry weight on your hips without panic, learning to give it back without burning out your hands. Rogan hears that and shakes his head, not at the number, but at the fluency. Perspective checks the myth. Renato Moicano once pointed out he outweighed Islam when they rolled, and he didn't feel crushing pressure until one tiny mistake turned into a vice. That's the key. It's not just pounds, it's process. And the tape backs it up. Balance first. Timing next. A pace that never blinks. Dustin Poirier studied the frame, the lifestyle, those endless runs even on off weeks. That's why the move to welterweight makes sense. Not because the cut is killing him, but because the habits translate. Live clean between camps, keep the engine revving, and bigger men don't just fail to overwhelm you, they end up playing small. Jack has earned respect because his growth is clear. Early on, wrestlers found cracks. Those cracks closed. He learned to pummel off the fence, to break body locks before they became lifts, to fight wrists the instant he felt the pin setting in. His hands stay disciplined while still throwing with sting. That's why the opening minutes matter. If Jack can circle without getting trapped, if he can land clean without letting those shots turn into clinch entries, if he can stuff early takedowns without giving up mat returns, that's when the crowd flips, because suddenly the size conversation cuts both ways. And that's exactly the kind of start Islam prepares for: stubborn, technical, and unapologetically tough. Rogan's shock wasn't just about mass, it was about precision. Big and sloppy is easy to solve. Big and sharp demands answers. On the feet, Islam doesn't chase chaos. He picks targets. He'll stab the body to kill bounce, split the guard with a straight, and touch just enough to make you fire the wrong punch. That's the moment he changes levels, crowds your hips, and drags you into layered choices. Give up the trip, take the ride, or open the door to something worse. When his hands lock, it feels scripted. Mat return, ride, wrist trap, forearm blade sliding right into leverage. People call it squeeze. It's really organization. Javier doesn't sugarcoat it with quick finishes. He trains Islam for 5 brutal rounds. Every time, because certainty makes corners lazy. Expect an easy choke and you freeze when it doesn't show. Expect a grind and you keep moving. He compares it to driving a highway. Glance away for a second and the cost hits before you can react. That mindset ensures against momentum swings. If Jack lands flush, the call won't be panic, it'll be clinch, smother, and make the next exchange happen where balance decides. That's how you turn danger into data while you recover. The rumor is that the ugliest rounds never make the camera, that the hill sprints go past what you see. Whatever's hidden, the public clips already show the difference. Hand fighting is sharper. Rides are tighter. Even the grip ladders and wrist rollers, which casuals laugh at, are hints of control plans measured in inches. It's not flashy, it's ruthless. And that's why pros watch those clips and nod. They don't see hype. They see systems. Systems withstand chaos better than slogans. And title nights are chaos under bright lights. So what happens when he and Jack meet in the center? The smart call is patient pressure. Test the fence early. Threaten the inside trip to pull the hands low, then lift them with straights to the chest and a jab that cheats distance. If Jack plants and fires, Islam snapshots it and wraps the body on the reload. If Jack frames and circles, the fight becomes a footwork test, and that's where the roadwork cashes in. None of this is a guarantee. It's just a map. The first exchange redraws everything. The outside voices add layers without clarity. Ali Abdelaziz keeps it businesslike but confident that the belt picture tilts by year's end. Max Holloway respects Islam's number but warns not to ignore Jack's timing. Leon Edwards stays neutral, like champions do when they've seen fights swing on an inch. Put all that together, and the pattern's obvious. Nobody thinks this is easy, everybody thinks the margins decide the night. In the end, it's not just about whether Islam can carry 170 on the scale, it's whether he can carry it in moments. Can he cut the cage when Jack is fresh? Can he ride without torching his arms? Can he win the ugly stretches with patience over pride? Training says yes. The opponent says beware. That tension is perfect for a main event, deadly for complacency. So, watch the feet, they decide who controls. Watch the fence, it decides who drowns second. Watch the wrists, they decide whose lungs quit first. And if the move really happens, the story won't be the numbers on screen. It'll be the quiet things no one notices live. The pummel that steals posture. The grip that holds a wrist 3 beats too long. The step that turns a punch into a clinch. Those are the moments Rogan reacts to without trying. Those are the moments Jack trains to erase.